Hello everyone and welcome to the first prop video. This is gonna be narrated version of the video, but all the other props videos I will probably time lapse with some music on, because the techniques that I'm gonna demonstrate here are pretty much the same, and I'm literally going through my list of props that I designed in the 2D section, and I'm just going and crossing one by one off the list. So I have my references on my second monitor and my 2D sketch open, and I am basically picking one of them and just starting to model. So here I decided to start to go with the beer box. It's pretty straightforward. It's a very simple object, but it does have some complex things. And I am using Maya 2018 for this one. And the feature of a bevel with the chamfer turned off is very, very useful, and I'm utilizing it fully. So here, as you can see, like as soon as I selected all the edges that I want, I just pretty much did the bevel, and in this particular case I did not turn the chamfer feature off because I wanted to get that soft round edge and highlight. But in a lot of other instances later, and I will use that feature. So here the only thing left for me to do is clean up the connection points, because when you're doing bevels in an intersection, for example, Maya will try to do it's best to figure out how to connect stuff, but it's not as smart. So it's always best if you resolve these kind of areas yourself, and they are pretty simple and pretty fast to resolve, and there's only a handful of them, so it's not a big deal anyways. This is going to be a fairly short chapter because I didn't want it to drag it for a long time, because as I said, it's a simple object. I just wanted to share how I'm doing things and talk about how the other videos will be. So I was thinking for a long time how to approach this, because I have a lot of props and buildings that I would like to have, but I'm not sure of the layout at this stage. So what I decided to do is just export the proxy geometry build into a new scene, split it up into separate scenes, and then just basically model building by building, prop by prop in its own scene, and then bring it back into the original scene and do the layout after. It may sound counterintuitive, but I calculated how many buildings I need and approximately how many props, or at least groups of props, and then I modeled them in a separate scene, and I brought them back. So yeah, I just didn't feel like it's gonna be worth it narrating every single video, talking about, oh, here's, I took the split polygon tool and I did this, and then I did the bevel, and then it's basically the same thing over and over and over. And that's the thing with these big environments. They take a long time to do, but it's basically the same thing you're doing for a longer period of time. So it's just a lot of repetition basically. So that's why I'm probably gonna put some royalty-free music, and so you can guys pause at any point you want. You can just play it while you work, and have fun and hopefully learn something. I will, however, pick up with the narration once I start doing the layout, and doing some other stuff like modeling based on an image, or anything that I feel it's important to to show and talk about, I will definitely take the time and do that. But yeah, for the most part, there's gonna be like a couple of videos that will be sped up with some music on. So here I'm finished with the crate, and I basically decided to make some beer bottles as well. And I didn't want it to go crazy with this because it's basically a beer bottle. There's not much to it. The one thing that is important is the images that you find online. Even this one looks like it's orthographic. In real life, there is no orthographic camera. So there are going to be some distortions. So keep in mind that you're gonna have to tweak your curve after you draw it, and also make sure that you draw the inside of the bottle itself, because when you revolve it later, as you can see here, you want to have a thickness, and the thickness is not always the same. For example, towards the bottom and at the top, it's a little bit thicker, and that's why the glass has a different shade. When you see it, it's not like one solid color brown. So as you can see, I'm taking a bit more time to do this and figure out the UVs and everything, because this is a prop that I know I'll be using it a lot in this render and others. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.